Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 2025 Planting Hope Gala. If you will, please find your seats. We are about to get started this evening. Thank you. It's great seeing all of you here. Lots of familiar faces, some new faces as well, which is fantastic. Hope you all had an excellent time outside leading up to this. We had a great string performance, some hors d'oeuvres. Hope the silent auction went the way some of you were hoping, and I hope others of you were able to reconnect with old friends or perhaps make some new friends. It's really special that we get to be in the same space tonight. As an organization that spans the country, numerous countries, it's really a big treat to just share a physical presence with everybody. So I'd like to just invite all of us to take a moment to soak that in. Take a big collective breath, look around at the people next to you, and prepare for a night with stories full of hope, of transformation. Prepare for wonder, the sort of feeling you get walking into a national park or going on a hike with people you love, or maybe even throwing on an old favorite nature documentary. Fellow travelers, the wild is awake tonight. Across every corner of our planet, from the hills of Oaxaca to the slopes of Kilimanjaro, the forests are rustling with stories. And like all stories, it begins with a single step. One tree, one farmer, one visit to a hillside in the Dominican Republic with a belief that a better future is possible. Some took those first steps decades ago. Others, perhaps days ago. But now, in Tanzania, moringa seedlings are prepared to go into the earth. These fast-growing trees will fix their ecosystems as their leaves begin to spread. The backyard gardens of Thailand bring food security and health. Here, a diversity of crops, from lettuce to longan to lemongrass, keep families fed. In the Dominican Republic, we see how it's all about relationship, as the Madre de Cacao tree spreads its leaves, providing shade for cacao and coffee plants. These will fix nitrogen in the soil while attracting pollinators. And the flora and fauna support human flourishing. Many of you here tonight have taken those steps with us. Friends, supporters, fellow travelers, this too is your story. For others of you, the journey is just beginning, and we are so grateful to have you with us. This is a community, a network, a common bond moving towards abundance. Here to open tonight in prayer, I'd like to welcome to the stage Pastor Russ Lackey.
We get to bless and pray for a wonderful ministry. So will you please join me for prayer? Heavenly Father, we are grateful for the opportunity to gather this evening to support a vital mission, a vital ministry. We give thanks for the energy, dedication, the heart of those who serve. We thank you for Plant with Purpose. Thank you for the good work they do in honoring your creation and empowering families to thrive. We ask for your blessing upon this evening. Bless the conversations, the connections, and the spirit of generosity that bring us together. May this time of fellowship renew our commitment to those who labor to steward the earth and build hope in their communities. May the resources raised tonight multiply and bear lasting fruit, advancing your kingdom here on earth. Bless our time together, guide our efforts, allow this to be an evening filled with generosity. Thank you for the hands that prepared this meal. Bless it, O Lord, in Jesus' name, amen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we hope everyone's enjoying their dinner. But at this time, we'd like to ask you to please direct your attentions to the big screens.
Nearly 600 million people depend on agriculture to survive. Without healthy land, poverty gets worse. And when poverty gets worse, the land suffers even more, perpetuating a vicious cycle. But there is a way forward. Plant with Purpose has an effective and replicable model that brings new life to land, families, and communities.
Before, our land was dry. Now, we have food, trees, and a future for our children.
This approach has been applied and proven for over 40 years. Now, we are preparing to move from addition to multiplication. That's what the Purpose Plan is all about. We want to introduce more people to our holistic approach called Community Designed Restoration, or CDR. CDR equips local communities to restore their deforested land while cutting poverty by more than half. The benefits are so powerful that they even spill over to neighboring communities. Over the next 3 years, we will prepare to scale so that many more vulnerable communities can experience the restoration of their land and a life-changing reduction of poverty. Our vision is to see a world where people and planet flourish. That's why Plant with Purpose is launching a 3-year strategic initiative designed to help us equip our global team, optimize our current programs and systems, and scale our impact. We're calling it the Purpose Plan. The Purpose Plan is built on 6 pillars that will strengthen our internal systems and provide the foundation for future expansion at scale. We will be investing in our people and our global partners. We will be applying focused innovation with strategic simplicity, and we will focus intentionally outward as we create impact beyond growth. By investing in internal systems, personnel, and global partnerships, in 3 years, we will expand our impact to 1.8 million lives transformed, 12.5 million trees planted yearly, 2.7 million acres of land restored, and the launch of our 10-program country.
Caring for creation is an act of faith. With Plant with Purpose, we are restoring both the land and our hope.
Today, we have an opportunity to invest in an abundant future. A future where poverty is cut in half, where landscapes are restored, and where communities thrive. And a future where this vision can be scaled around the world. As our mission says, we are together reversing rural poverty, restoring watersheds, renewing hope, rooted in faith. Be part of this exciting expansion. Invest in renewal, and together, let's propagate hope.
Good evening. I too would like to welcome you to this very, very special occasion. Many of you have been here for many years. I know a lot of the faces. This is a unique one in that we're celebrating and saying goodbye to Scott Sabin as our CEO after 33 years. And I'll spend some more on that in a minute. But before we get Scott and his family up here, what I would like to have happen is I would like all the board members, past and present, all the board members. I would like all Plant with Purpose board members, past and present, to please stand up and be recognized. We did two things right. We've always had a great board. There have been 44 board members in the history of Plant with Purpose, and all of them have been awesome and God-serving board members. There was a board more than a few years ago that found and hired Scott Sabin, and that was a defining moment for Plant with Purpose, and we are here because that board found, hired, engaged, and trusted Scott Sabin to lead us into the future. Our CEO, Scott Sabin, is here with his family, his mother, Katie, from Sarasota, Florida. I won't tell you how old she is. I will tell you, though, that she next week is going to her 70th reunion at Stanford University. And Danny, son Danny, and daughter Amanda, and his wife Nancy. And it takes a family to support a successful CEO, and we have been so incredibly blessed to have this family supporting this amazing man. And let's talk a little bit about Scott Sabin. 33 plus years of dedicated and inspiring leadership. You heard some of the statistics, and I have some more. More than 80 million trees planted. More than 72 watersheds restored. More than $17 million in savings and loan group equity. More than 1,450 church partners, many of them whom are here tonight. And best of all, and it's not a number, and it's not data, and it isn't dollars, and it isn't cents, it isn't time, it isn't trees. It's the fact that Plant with Purpose has fostered significant hope in some very hopeless situations. And it has given more than 700,000 people around the world being lifted out of poverty and to have hope for their and their families' future, all because of Scott, his leadership, and this family's support of Scott while he led that kind of hope building. The board is going to gift you with a gift. I have here a sextant, and on the cover of this sextant, Well, for those of you who don't know, sextants were guiding devices that before the internet and the computer caused people to go all around the world and get to the right place and find the right port in a storm. On this particular sextant, the words are written, Scott Sabin, navigating with vision and faith, leading transformation worldwide with heartfelt appreciation. Open the box and take out the sextant. Scott is going to show you what a sextant looks like. He is a sailor, and he will be using this instrument in the next year or two as he takes a lifelong trip on that ship that goes from the tip of South America to Antarctica. And his trip is going to be fully funded with a $15,000 check that is in that box that all of the prior board members donated to celebrate Scott and his contribution to Plant with Purpose. Scott's mother, Katie, who is here, who we introduced to you, just told me she has been on that boat. For the rest of us who are not going to enjoy that trip and enjoy the retirement that Scott is going to lean into, still connected, by the way, with Plant with Purpose, the table has been set for Plant with Purpose. The best is yet to come. We have a very bright and bold future. And we're going to do everything we can to live out the legacy that Scott has gifted us with the last 33 and a half years, and cause this hope that he generated in the countries where we're serving today to be multiplied many, many times over. The best is yet to come. Thank you very much, Scott.
Wow, thank you so much. I knew that John had something planned, but I had no idea. Yes, so I have this nice, tightly scripted talk, and I'm kind of flabbergasted right now. Yeah, my mother, well, Europa was in port here in San Diego, probably, 15 years ago. I went aboard. I said, this is the most amazing thing in the world. I told my parents about it, and yes, they took a cruise to Antarctica. Everybody takes a cruise to Antarctica. But my father was up in the yardarms on that cruise to Antarctica as they went through the Drake Passage in a storm, and I have been so jealous for so long. I also spent a considerable amount of time on eBay looking for sextants. So, John, you know me too well. Well, thank you very much. It's wild to be here and think this is my last time here with you as CEO. And I really appreciate you being here and celebrating with me. And I told John so many times, I don't want tonight to be about me or about the past. I want it to be about the future and the challenge and the opportunity that we have, because it's significant and amazing. At Plant with Purpose, our mission is to reverse rural poverty. In other words, to catalyze prosperity and flourishing. And we're seeing amazing things happen in the purpose groups. It's to restore watersheds, to reforest the land and improve the water resources that the people depend on. To renew hope, the hope that comes from Jesus Christ and the restoration of relationships that brings. We're rooted in faith as a Christian organization, and we're doing it all together. You, me, God, our international partners, and the farmers we serve. Farmers we serve as partners, not as projects, who own this as much as we do. 33 years ago, I first found myself behind the desk at Plant with Purpose. Our budget at that time was $240,000, and we served 80 families in the Dominican Republic. And we knew all their names. I still remember a lot of them. Eladino Fulcar, Bienvenido Masquea, Elvira Amador, who some of you might remember as Sister Estela, Silverio Masquea. I might have known all their names, but I didn't know what I didn't know. What a long, strange trip it's been. And what exciting places we've ended up. You just heard about our new strategic plan, the Purpose Plan, but I want to roll back just for a couple minutes to the last 5 years, because what's happened even in the last 5 years has been amazing. In 2020, we finalized Thrive 25, and at the time we hoped to grow to $10 million in funding and to serve 500,000 people, to double from 220,000 to 500,000 people. 2 years in, we realized we hadn't been anywhere near ambitious enough. God had much bigger plans. We had to redo the whole thing. Instead of serving 500,000 people, today we're serving 720,000, almost a 50% increase over what we'd even planned. And instead of growing our funding to 10 million, we grew it to 14.5 million, almost 50% more than we intended. But so many things happened that we never could have imagined. The generosity and support of our funders, of you all. The creativity of our team. If I had enough time, I'd tell you about the gee whiz solutions, the amazing things that have been invented and come up with in the last 5 years. Apps and remote sensing and curriculum and mapping solutions. It's absolutely amazing the way that our team has worked, not just our team here, but our team internationally has worked to solve these problems and to get better at them. I think the most exhilarating thing has been the pieces that we weren't expecting, the pieces that we just simply could not have imagined. One of those was the fact that large foundations took notice of the fact that we've been meticulous for almost 2 decades, meticulous at measuring our impact, reporting it, and using that information to continually get better. And they wanted to fund that. If you've taken a look at our website or seen our impact evaluation, you know that those impacts are significant. 55% reduction in poverty among the people we serve. Participants are 44% more likely to be able to send their high school-aged girls to school. Forests are increasing. Soil is getting richer and deeper. Water has become more available. People are saving more and eating more frequently. In fact, in places in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, people are eating twice as often and twice as much. They're eating 2.3 meals a day, where people in neighboring areas are averaging 1 meal a day. And if there was ever a reason on my heart for us to continue to grow and continue to expand, it's the knowledge that just across the mountain, there are people eating only once a day, and we have a response to that. We can help change it. We also learned one of the most important things was the agency, the fact that people were developing their own capacity to change their situation and to solve their own problems. And so we see communities taking charge of their development and continuing to grow and change after we've left. The other thing we've learned is that everybody benefited, not just the people who are directly working with us. The benefits of our work were literally flowing downstream, which is one of the reasons that we choose to work in watersheds. But these numbers don't begin to tell the whole story. As our regional director for Africa, Jared White, said, behind every number is a name, and behind every name is a story. And I want to share a couple of those stories with you. This is Yorle and his wife Nola. I met them just about 6 weeks ago in northern Thailand. Yorle is a farmer and a rural evangelist in a very poor area, an area that's populated primarily by ethnic minorities and recent refugees from the civil war in Myanmar. As he walked around with us and showed us what he'd been learning, taking us through his forest garden and showing us his lychee and macadamia, fishtail palm, and honey that he was producing, he went on to tell us about how he was using our brand new spiritual renewal curriculum to lead Bible studies and for sermon outlines. By the way, this curriculum is something we finished last year. I'm really excited about because just like our agricultural curriculum, it was not something that was produced primarily in the United States, but rather was a collaborative effort of all of our countries working together, bringing their best. Pastors from every single country contributed to that curriculum, so we have something that's truly international and reflective of Plant with Purpose. But he went on to say that while Christianity is growing slowly in Thailand, most of the younger evangelists, once they go off to Bible school or they go to seminary, don't want to come back to the rural countryside. So his is a field that's largely forgotten, working among the marginalized, the very poor, the ethnic minorities. And so the curriculum that we've developed and supplied to him is especially important. I want to talk about Veronica in eastern Congo, whose story we heard a number of years ago, but is emblematic of so many. Veronica, as you can see, is disabled. She lost an eye and struggled with a debilitating disease, and as a result, she and her children were abandoned by her husband. Her society, her culture, sees her, therefore, as cursed. And she said, I had no hope. I thought about taking my own life. But I remembered that God doesn't forsake the needy. She got connected with a purpose group, and she says, once she began to discover her capacity and her identity in Christ, my life has completely changed. I can still smile. My children have returned to school, and I now know my value and human dignity. And one of the things that I love about her story is that the numbers tell us that it's not necessarily unique, that stories like that are being repeated over and over again, thousands of times among the 720,000 people that we're currently serving. But the story that's probably impacted me the most recently is a story I got just a couple of weeks ago from Barori. Barori is our director in Eastern Congo. That's him on the left. This picture was taken in 2016 when 4 of us from Plant with Purpose joined our local team and spent 3 days hiking among the communities that we were serving at the time. When we were there, Barori was recently married. He now has 5 small children. And I was talking to him on Zoom just a couple of weeks ago, and he was telling me about the challenges of working in the midst of civil war. Like a number of our partners, he's dealing with working and serving in the midst of an active civil war. Communities that we serve are on both sides of the front lines, and there are places where it used to take him an hour to move from one community to another, where you could literally wave to neighbors across the way where it now takes him 10 hours and literally traveling through 4 different countries to get to the opposite side of the front line, to get from government lines to rebel lines. Along the way, he's dealing with physical threats, danger, being harassed by immigration and border guards in various countries. And yet the thing that comes through as I talk to him is his cheerfulness and his dogged persistence. Nothing is going to dissuade him. He is continuing to love and support people on both sides of the conflict, which is an incredible inspiration to me for how to act and how to operate in a divided community. So I asked him, what is it that keeps you going? And I was a little surprised by his answer, because the first thing he told me, of course, was his faith and the fact that he realizes that God is using his talents. But what surprised me is he reminded me of this day when this picture was taken. He said, you remember when we camped in the forest and you and I sat in a tent with a rainstorm around that night, and you told me that you were committed to these communities in Eastern Congo, that you were committed to these people. And I know that as long as you're committed, I can be committed too. It's incredibly humbling, and it's our commitment that I was sharing with him, our commitment together. And in fact, we plan to deepen it. You heard about the purpose plan. We're moving from addition to multiplication. 1.8 million lives touched, 82 watersheds, the addition of a 10th country. But what excites me is, much like the last one, the reality of what happens will be better than we can possibly imagine. And I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see what we come up with and what God does for us and with us next.
I can take it from here. What we're doing at Plant with Purpose is helping farmers to find the light they need to truly transform their lives and their land.
Lagi pun today. Wow, having fun. Found it.
Very fun, huh?
La encontramos.
Where's Renee?
Wow, no Jenny.
Darrell.
Imeipata.
Mi pata.
Where's Renee?
Wow.
Hey, McKinley, are you looking for this?
The people joining me here on stage represent a watershed. Just like in nature, transformation often starts with one source, one participant, and from there it flows outward. Your partnership is creating real change. Families are eating 14% more meals. Poverty is reduced by 55% in the areas that we serve. 77% of participants are actively saving money. 98% of participants have discovered meaning and purpose from their work and their livelihoods. Because of our unique watershed model, the impact doesn't stop where we work. It spreads from participants to their neighbors, even across hillsides and valleys into neighboring communities. But it's not just farmers who carry this light. You do too. Please pick up your lanterns from your table. There should be one sitting there, and wait to turn it on until instructed. Imagine now that this entire ballroom is an entire country. Will this front row of tables please turn on your lantern? That's how many church partnerships you've helped us form. I asked the back row of tables, please turn on your lantern. That is how many purpose groups you've helped us establish. And now I ask the middle 2 rows of tables to please turn on your lantern. That is how many trees have been planted because of you. There are still countless families waiting. They're waiting for a seed of hope. They're waiting to find the light. Tonight we have the opportunity to bring it to them. If you too believe in a future where both people and planet can flourish, please lift your lanterns and light the way. Thank you. You may turn off your lanterns and put them down.
All right. Thank you very much, McKinley. Thanks to everybody. Round of applause for all of those. That'll give you an idea just how much of a difference you can make. Nicely done, nicely done. Well, let everybody head on off. Then I'm going to come back up. My name is Mike Hogan. It's a pleasure to be back with you. I don't even know what year this was. Scott and I were trying to figure it out. I think I've been with Plant with Purpose somewhere in the 10 to 15 year range. All I know is they had 5 countries when I first started, and we're up to 10 due to your generosity. Did you guys see how easy it was to raise those candles? I want you all to do me a favor. If you think that was easy, raise this. Right? See, you're not even the oldest among us are not going to strain anything. Okay, she's ready to go, but I got a few more things to say. Yeah, don't try this at home, folks. We're trained professionals. Spencer, can you drop the Lecos down a little bit? Ladies and gentlemen, thanks to the board for recognizing Scott. He's been here since I started with him, and I don't know of a nicer guy that's done more good for more people in more countries than Scott Sabin. So a round of applause again. God bless you, Scott. So this is kind of a special honor. Spencer, just dim him a little bit more. Kind of a special honor. I've just talked with Scott several times. I know many of you have as well. He started with Plant with Purpose. It's going to be like a year, 2 year kind of a segue into another career with another nonprofit. Well, 33 years later, he is still here. So I have some great news. What we're going to do right now is what's called the Fund a Need. I know many of you have been here with us before. Lynne's going to be coming up in just a moment. She's going to give you an idea of which, I know she's just anxious to go. I'm just mean. She's going to give you an idea to what your donations will do with these various levels, and then I'm going to ask you to raise those paddles in support. But I have some very good news before we start that. We've got some generous donors that have gotten together and have ponied up $200,000 in a match. So for yes, round of applause. So for every 1,000 you donate, that's another 1,000. For every 100, that's another 100. If we just want to get this done quick and get on to dessert, for every million, that would be 1,200,000. Anybody a million? No, I just thought I'd throw it out there. It's worth a shot. So once again, we're going to get this going. I want to let you know your gifts at whatever level you donate. And my biggest passion with these is yes, I love the big high donors, but I want to make sure everybody in the room knows they're part of the Plant with Purpose family. So at whatever level you can donate at, we appreciate it, know that. And if there's a dollar amount I don't mention, if you're shy like me and you don't want to raise your paddle, see me afterwards and we'll take care of you. But once again, your gifts, your donations tonight are going to go directly towards financing the greatest needs that Plant with Purpose is serving in. And I love this. Burundi, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, the Dominican Republic. I went to the DR about 8 years ago, so I absolutely know what Plant with Purpose does. I put a tree in the ground. I was with the villagers. If you've never done it, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and we're going to give you a chance to do that. But it's amazing to see the looks in their faces. It's truly special. Ethiopia, Haiti. I don't know if you saw that slide of Haiti. The family in there, it's tough over there, but they're still doing the best they can. Malawi, Mexico, Tanzania, Thailand's one of the new ones, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to launch the Purpose Plan, our 3-year expansion. It's not only planting trees, it's breaking the cycle of poverty. And not just by giving them money, but by actually showing them how to create their own village savings and loans, how to farm. It's just, like I said, if you've never attended a vision trip, it's absolutely amazing the work they do. It's not a handout. They learn how to support themselves. So now, ladies and gentlemen, if you would, big round of applause. Welcome my partner up here in crime, Lynne Marian. She is our Director of Marketing and Communications. And Lynne is going to go ahead, and she's going to kind of, again, explain what your funds will do, and then I'll see if I can get some paddles in the air. Are we good with that? Yes? All right, round of applause. Here comes Lynne.
All right, welcome tonight. Well, we are so excited to talk about the first level we have here at our Fund of Need, and that is to transform the next generation. James, that you see here in the picture, is a student at the Sanya Primary School in Tanzania, where he is a leader in the environmental club. The kids learn about regenerative farming, creation care, and grow vegetables for their school lunches. On this day, James and I planted an avocado tree. Yes, your gifts impact the lives of people living in poverty today, but they also are transforming the next generation, from helping parents pay for their kids' education, to school partnerships like this, to the preservation of family farms. You are changing the course of lives and communities for generations to come.
It is absolutely a change, ladies and gentlemen, and if you are feeling inspired to support other children like James and transform the next generation, I'm going to go ahead and ask anyone out there can find it in their hearts tonight to raise that paddle and get us started with a bang at the $50,000 level. I'm looking for one paddle to get it going at $50,000, ladies and gentlemen. The work you will do is absolutely amazing. We have one in the back of the room, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to thank Bill and Susan Hone. Thank you, Bill and Susan. We greatly appreciate it. That is $50,000, but an auctioneer's creed is more is always better. So $50,000, that's actually a $100,000 donation with the match. Is there anybody else? I would feel remiss if I didn't ask if there's anybody else in the room after watching what you've seen tonight. Yes, 185 at $50,000. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Feels good, huh? I love it. I love it. That's $100,000, and with our match, 200.
That's right.
Should we go for 3? Sure. Anyone else? Trust me, don't leave it all to your kids. They're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. You've raised them well. Anyone else at the $50,000 level? A huge round of applause for those 2 donors. Thank you to the Hones. Thank you to this generous gentleman right there. God bless. Lynne?
All right. At the $25,000 level, we are looking to reverse rural poverty. A recent study that we've done revealed that the farmers who participate in our program, on average, increase their income by 325%. Think about that. What would that do for you? And while income is not the only indicator on our multidimensional poverty index, it is a huge factor for Avril from Haiti, who said, "Our financial circumstances have changed completely. I care for my family better, and most of all, I have built a house with the money I saved and borrowed from my purpose group. Your investments are being more than matched by our partner farmers, and together, globally, you have reduced poverty for our Plant with Purpose participants by more than half."
Absolutely amazing. Yeah, a round of applause at the $25,000 level. Like I said, I like to try to give everybody an idea as to what your money can do. You wouldn't think $25,000 would go a long way in the U.S., but in the countries that Plant with Purpose works in, a $25,000 donation could break the cycle of poverty in 150 families. One $25,000 donation. Who'd like to be that first one to raise their paddle? 222 at $25,000. Thank you. In the back, 555 at $25,000. Thank you. That is $50,000. Yep, I got you. Do we have one more? 132. Thank you so much at $25,000. That is $75,000. Make some noise and give me one more paddle to make it 100. Could I get one more paddle to make it 100? One last look around the room. That's what's called a moment of guilty Catholic silence. That's all right. Ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you to those three generous donors.
Thank you
That
so
is
much.
like $275,000 with a match. We are at $550,000, and we are on our way to helping a tremendous amount of families throughout the world.
At the $10,000 level, the power of purpose groups, you've heard about this. The building block of our global model is the purpose group, equal parts community savings and loan association, farmer field school, and spiritual family. These groups of 25 or so individuals create leadership, empowerment, opportunity, and dramatic life change in every community where we work. Monica here from the Dominican Republic says it so well. Our purpose group helps people solve their own problems. What I've learned will be useful for my whole life.
Absolutely amazing, ladies and gentlemen. What I saw when I went over to the Dominican Republic, I sat in what's called one of the village savings and loans. So there's 4 of the villagers, there's one lock box, there's 4 locks on it. Each one of them has a key. We sat there for about 3 hours as different villagers deposited money into the savings and loan. And Scott, what's the total dollar amount? Where are we at now? $17 million has been amassed in little bitty chunks at a time with 0 donations on behalf of Plant with Purpose. Trust me, these people are proud. They are proud when they are sitting there. And then the beauty is if somebody wants to start a business, something like that. I saw one woman, she was going to sell beauty products, so she would go into the city, she would come back, sell them to the villages. So a donation of $10,000 would help us start 3 purpose groups. Who would like to come in at the $10,000 level, ladies and gentlemen? I'm looking for one generous donor. 195, thank you. 235, thank you so much. That's $20,000. 123, that's a great paddle. 123, I love it. That is $30,000. 232, that is $40,000. 232 at 10, 232 is 40. 50 has such a sweet sound to it. Could I see one more paddle at the $10,000 level? One last, I'm gonna beg just a little bit. Round of applause for those 4 donors. Another 40,000 times 2, $80,000 raised. Thank you. You guys, I knew we had a generous crowd. I could feel the love.
All right, at $5,000 level, point the way to Christ. As in our own country, the struggles of life can leave people lost in despair. Emmeline from Burundi was abandoned by her husband and left to raise her 2 daughters alone. She said, "My life was defined by poverty, heartbreak, anxiety, and disappointment. Yet through the encouragement of her purpose group, the love of our program staff, and her local church, Emmeline rediscovered hope and faith. Today she says, 'My faith has enabled me to forgive and to heal. Jesus is my faithful friend who never fails when I am in distress.' Today we have 1,500 partner churches globally, but our dream is to partner with 300 more in the next 3 years. You can help make that possible and point the way to Christ for someone like Emmeline.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to help point the way towards Christ by helping us support these church groups, and again, I sat in one of those. It was phenomenal. The pastors out in these countries, God bless them. It's a tough job, and they have a passion for it, and they have a love for it. At $5,000, if you haven't donated yet, here's a perfect opportunity to get that paddle in the air. Who's in at $5,000? 1-3, is that a 5 hiding underneath the? You got a pink thing there. 135, 137. Thank you very much. 229, awesome. That's 15,000. 220, $20,000, ladies and gentlemen. Can you flip it the other way? Well, hold on. I'll be right over there. 209 at $5,000. 284 at $5,000. That is $30,000, ladies and gentlemen. Keep the love coming. Anyone else want to walk with Christ and help support our church partners? I've got 30, one last pass. Again, God bless you all. Thank you so much. Lynn, I'm loving it. It's
all right.
Beautiful.
Well, at $1,000 level.
2,500.
What? Oh, I'm missing a card.
It's all right.
I'm missing a card. You're right. Here we go. At the $2,500 level, we are going to improve family nutrition. I want you to take a minute and imagine the heartbreak of seeing the face of your child, knowing that they are hungry, but knowing that you have nothing to feed them. Lorraine, right here in Burundi, used to have to beg for food to feed her children. But today, through regenerative farming training and the restoration of her soil, her kids are eating 3 meals a day with improved nutrition to fuel their success. She said, "I used to seek help so my kids could eat, but now I can work and I help others." Like Lorraine, we can help more mothers improve the health of their children.
That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen, raising food themselves so that they can feed their families and other families out there. If you haven't donated yet, the $2,500 level will help support that family nutrition menu, making sure that kids are getting 3 meals a day and that they're healthy, nutritious meals. Who's in? Who wants to help me at $2,500? 199, thank you. 227, thank you. We got a movement going. 225. 189, thank you. 235, 234, 265, 304. Keep the love coming. 241, 139, 139 twice. 240, I love that. 160, I've never seen a duplicate paddle. I think that's awesome. 160, 207, 178. That's about $10,000, ladies and gentlemen. Anyone else? By the way, we hit the $200,000 match, so give yourself a round of applause. You guys are bringing it home tonight. As they used to say, bringing in the sheaves. Anyone else? Appreciate it. Once again, if you haven't found a level yet, hang tight. There's more, but wait, there's more.
At the $1,000 level, we are going to help that community secure clean water. Access to clean water is one of the biggest challenges in the vulnerable communities we serve. In this Ethiopian village, free grazing livestock had turned a clean, natural spring into a contaminated mud hole. Purpose groups in the community came together to fund and build a structure over the spring, protecting it from livestock and giving community members access to clean water. Mehiret, who you see in the picture, was so proud to show us this new construction, and I can tell you, the water was fresh and clean. From water source protection, reservoirs, wells, cisterns, filtration systems, and pipes, the ideas and initiatives of local communities, the resources of purpose groups, and your partnership are bringing clean water to hundreds of thousands of families around the world.
And clean water is one of the biggest, clean water isn't dirty water. Bad water is one of the biggest killers of youth. I've been to both Guatemala and I've been to the Dominican Republic. I was with Guatemala with another nonprofit I work with delivering water filters. You don't realize it, but the runoff into the streams, they're pulling water out. It's full of insecticides, bad stuff. The kids get diarrhea. I don't mean to gross you out, but that's what happens, and they die. And I actually, when I first was in Guatemala, I saw a mother with a baby, and she had a 64-ounce Coke bottle because that was the safest thing that she could find for her baby to drink. So Plant with Purpose is making a huge the clean water will save more lives than just about anything that anybody does right now. There's a lot of people working on it. Plant with Purpose has got a hold on it, so it's a $1,000 donation. There's a good friend of mine that used to work with Plant with Purpose, Kirsty. She's no longer with us, but I'm in for $1,000. And Kirsty's behalf, who wants to join me at $1,000? 126, 124, 122, 121. Keep them up. 111, 110. You are definitely saving lives. 125, 232, 174. I'm loving it. 128, 136, 170. Get the whole table up. She's back for twice. I love it. 135, 171, 245. I'll be right over there. 254, 258. I'll be back to you in a second. 284, 150, 213, 196, 211. That was about $25,000. 188 is another one at $1,000. You will have no idea how far that money goes in a country like the DR or some of the other countries they're in. A huge round of applause for all those donors at at $1,000. And Kirsty, we love you. That was, oh man, I love it. You know what? Some of these people are raising their paddle twice.
I know, I know.
It's like,
it's crazy. It's awesome. Thank you so much.
More is better sometimes.
Well, I want to tell you about one of my favorite farmers that I've met. This is Francine, and I met her in Burundi. I felt like I was meeting a celebrity because I had already heard her stories. Once a young bride living in extreme poverty, today she is a leader, running a farm, a restaurant, a bakery, and a store. She and her husband employ at least 9 people and rent 3 different commercial spaces. Now multiply that 100,000 times over. The entrepreneurial spirit is alive and well in our program participants. These remarkable people have great ideas. All they need is training and support. You can provide that support tonight.
Absolutely, you can.
Right.
I was at one of the Village Savings and Loans. That's where they get the money, but you need the training so that they know how to run a successful business. Anybody think those muffins look as good as I do? I'm just like, oh
I have
man,
to say,
can we get some of those next year?
Yeah. Our country director, Barori, bought all of the leftover rolls that she had that day, and he didn't share them with any of us. He took them all home.
They're just pretty.
I
don't know if a roll can be pretty, but they're pretty. Anyway, enough of that. Who hasn't helped out yet that would like to donate at the $500 level? Help train. 124 at 500. Thank you. 125. Thank you. 208. 190, 271. We're getting there. 23. I think that's a 3. Yep. 174. Thank you so much. 134. The whole table back there is going. 239, 260, 262. 146. Put a smile on your face when you're doing this. You have no idea the good you're doing. 306, 153, 152. 291. Ladies and gentlemen, again, you are amazing. Thank you so much for your generous donations. I appreciate it. Lynne appreciates the whole Plant with Purpose team. It's feeling good.
Well, at the $250 level, let's talk about lifting women and children. An extensive body of research shows that when women, in particular, earn and control their income, it directly impacts the economic health of both their families and their entire communities. Isidra from Mexico is living proof of that and now believes in her value as a woman. She says, I have attended the self-esteem and personal finance workshop, and I have learned to do many things, including making pine needle baskets and teaching that skill to my daughters. Isidra is part of a women's collective creating and exporting the very baskets you may have seen for sale in our lobby, by the way, and you can help other women like Isidra find their value, learn skills, and bring economic health to their community.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. The women in the other countries, we've come a long way here in the U.S. We still got a way to go, but we've come a long way. The countries that Plant with Purposes, a lot of them, they got a real long way to go, and this is a good way to help get the ladies on their way. Women and children, who's in? If you haven't donated yet, I think we're about 75% of the room, which is what I'm loving. So if you haven't donated yet, 250 is your number, 126. Thank you. Look at these popping up. I'm going to start on this side, 107, 210, 293 twice. So he's donating 500, 192. 217, got a whole table going. 214, 285, I think. 195, 187. I'll be with you right over there in a minute. 186, 184. Auctioneers love this problem. 221, 187, 219. I can only go so fast. I got it right. 279, 281, 301, 268, 204. 274, 226, 262, let me slide over here, 236, 255, and I'm loving the smiles, 257, 138, 164, 253, 162, 166, 147, can you flip that one over there, 15, I can't see, there you go, 157, 141. Anyone else in the room at $250? As Johnny Carson used to say, bam! Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're at almost 100% of the donations in this room. Lynn, I want to thank you so much. A round of applause.
We've got one more. We'll do that later. Okay. We'll do that after the live auction. Okay, all right.
All right, so we're going to take a little break. And our friend Scott Sabin would like to come up and kind of elaborate on a couple of things that we still need to touch base on. And again, I genuinely, you guys, I know a lot of you guys have been longtime supporters. I know a lot of you have been over and have seen what's done. But of all the nonprofits I work for, there isn't any that I love any more than Plant with Purpose, because they make a difference today. The cures for cancer and all that, that's all wonderful, but sometimes that's 10 and 15 and 20 years down the road. Plant with Purpose goes into the countries, and they change them so fast. Scott?
Well, I want to, is it on? You want to turn on? I've never gotten to do this before, but I want to take the opportunity just to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for your generosity. This truly is a group effort. I also wanted to really quickly touch on a part of the plan that you might be wondering about, but part of the purpose plan is a transition to a new CEO. And I've been involved for a long time. I mean, John shared some of that, 33 years. I want you to know that I'm still just as passionate about this mission and still just as passionate about the people we serve as I've always been. But at this point in my career, one of the things I realize is that one of the most impactful things I can do is to hand it off, to pass it on to the next stewards of the organization and stewards of this mission. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about that. It may turn out to be the most important legacy of my leadership. And I've been working really hard with a search committee. We have a board search committee that has been working on interviewing potential successors. We don't have a name for you, but what I can tell you with complete confidence is the organization is going to be in great hands. Great hands. From my perspective, the best part is I get to stay involved. I am going to be continuing on in a half-time role as global ambassador. I get to be involved in maintaining relationships, encouraging our partners, helping out wherever I can. As I told Barori, my commitment hasn't waned. But I am tremendously excited to be passing on this light, the light of Jesus, the light of hope, the light of Plant with Purpose to the next generation, to new leadership here and to our farm families. And I just want to say thank you so much for your support in the past and your support in the future and your support of whoever is standing here next year. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm sure they're going to have an amazing person to come in, and I'd hate to be the guy following in your footsteps. Not quite yet, Lynn. We got a live auction to do. It'll take a few minutes. So, all right. So anybody, I'm looking around. It appears you guys had a good meal. How was dinner? Good? Yeah? You know what I don't see? I don't see dessert. And that is my favorite meal of the day. How many people out there like ice cream? It's like the #1 treat in the world. Make a little noise if you like ice cream. Make a little noise. Now, I tell you what, how would you like it? How much better would you like it if you could write it off? Wouldn't that be great? Write it off on your tax return. I'm a nice guy. I'm going to give you that opportunity. Hold tight. So you see that smiling picture up there? That's my face. I've been a professional ice cream maker for 20 years. Used to own a company called Sensational Treats. We made liquid nitrogen ice cream. I made 2 quarts, good for 1 table. Only 1 table's going to get it. Hold on. 100,000. You got it. No. So the first one is the vanilla bean. I want to give you an idea what goes in there. 8 egg yolks, not 6, not 5, but 8 egg yolks, big fat, farm-raised, cage-free, all that good stuff, fresh cream, milk, and a lot of love. And then over there, does anybody like mint chip? This is like even a little better. The first one's an ice cream. The second one's a gelato. It's a mint stracciatella. You know, the Italian stracciatella. So what I do is once the mint ice cream is done, I pour dark Belgian chocolate in it, and I kind of fold it over, and it becomes ribbony, and there's ribbons in there. I just made that last night. It's mighty dang tasty. So there's enough, well, there's 2 quarts, and there's a custom scoop, by the way, that says Plant with Purpose 2025. We appreciate your support. Only 1 table's going to get it. We're going to deliver it right here, right now. If you're curious, the record is St. Paul Senior Services, $5,000 for the 2 quarts. We're going to go ahead and start at $25 just to get some paddles in the air. $25 bidder now, $50 bidder, $75 bidder, $100 bidder, $200 bidder, $300 bidder, $400 bidder, $500 bidder, $600 bidder. Do I have $700? $700 bidder, $800 bidder, $900 bidder, $900. How about $1,000? $1,000 right over here. How about $1,200? Let's see if we can go a little higher. $1,200 bidder, now looking for $1,400. $1,200 bidder, we're looking for $1,400. Literally, you can kind of write off anything above the fair market value. So this is your best opportunity to ever have an ice cream write-off. $14 to the young lady looking for $1,600. $1,400 bidder looking for a better bid. I'm not kidding you. This will be the best ice cream. $1,600 bidder to the gentleman. Do I have 18? Are you going to let him get away with that? No. $1,800 bidder now. How about 2? What do you bid it into? $2,000. Give me a $2,000 bid. Yes, $2,000 bidder for our friends with Plant with Purpose. $2,000 bidder now. We're looking for 22.5. 22.5. How about 2,500? 22.5. How about 25? 25 to the gentleman right there. How about 27.50? 27.50 to the young lady. Do I have 3,000? 20. It's the best dang ice cream you'll ever have, and you can tell all your friends it was like $220 a tablespoon. 2,750. Yes, 27.5 right there. $2,750. Do I have 3,000? Last chance, last glance. Sold. 27.50 to the young lady right back there. Could I see your paddle, please, real quick? Can I see the paddle number? Spotters, I need to see the, there you go, 223. That's how you get it done. Stacy, the team, they've got bowls, they've got spoons. It is coming your way. I got a couple great live auction items for you as well. This next one, a generous Plant with Purpose supporter has donated their very own brand new, newly remodeled 3-bedroom, 3-bath vacation home in Paso Robles. Look at that view. It's absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. Sleep 6 adults, ladies and gentlemen, or you could squeeze 12 like little guys in there, or kids, whatever. No, 6 adults. Leave the kids at home. Just go with the adults. Have a good time. But if you do need more room, there's a detached 1-bedroom apartment. Again, thanks to Katie and Steve for donating it. On VRBO, would this be like a $5,000 thing? I'm going to go ahead and start the bidding at $1,500, ladies and gentlemen. On the 6 nights, $1,500 bidder, 17.5. Do I have 2,000? $2,000 bidder now, 22.5. 2 looking for 22.5, 22.5, 22.5 to the young lady, 2,500 to the young lady on the left-hand side. It's like paddle ball. Your turn. pickleball, that's it, not paddleball. $2,500. You want to go 27 and a half? Yes, 27 $3,000 to the young lady. How about 32 and a half? You don't want to give up yet. 32 and a half right over here, back your way. 3,500. I love the way she's doing that. $3,500 bidder now. How about 37.50? This side of the table can play too. $3,500 bidder to the young lady. Highlight, she was a good paddle raiser. You can go to any one of my auctions. 35 once, twice. Sold them. $3,500 bidder number. Can I see the bid? Spotters, can you get the bid number up for me? I need to see the bid number. There you go. Nope, there you go. 159. Give her a nice round of applause. Thank you for your generosity. I love this next one. I tried to get Scott to donate a sailing trip. And he's like, no, I didn't want to take responsibility if anybody fell off the boat. So we got the next best thing, ladies and gentlemen. We have a catered dinner for 10 with Scott Sabin and his beautiful wife, Nancy. Now, it's kind of confusing. It says incredible evening for 12, but it's 10 guests plus Scott and Nancy. So you and 9 of your friends join Scott and Nancy. And then Laura is an amazing chef. She donated last year. I heard the food was phenomenal. So she will help create a menu for you, probably do some wine pairings, things like that. And Jeff and Sally Busby have been kind enough to donate their home. So you can all go over there and you don't have to worry about cleanup. Somebody else will take care of it, which is always one of my favorite things. So if you really want to spend a night with some wonderful people, this is a great way to do it, ladies and gentlemen. They'll work on the date with you, mutually agreeable time. So a catered dinner for 10 with Scott and Nancy Sabin, ladies and gentlemen. Laura Pauly's Catering. I'm looking for an opening bid, $100 ahead, $1,000, $1,000 looking for 12 and a half. $1,000 bidder now, 12 and a half, 12 and a half, 12 and a half. Come on, that's $100 ahead. I'm at 1,000. Who will go 1250? $1,250 bidder now. Where are you at? $1,000 bidder looking for 12 and a half. How about 1,200? $1,200 bidder now looking for 12, looking for 12, looking for 12. With you guys all full, you're going to be hungry again later on. $1,000 bidder looking for 1,200. Anyone else? $1,000 bidder going one time, taking a last look, twice at 1,000. Last chance. Sold him $1,000. Congratulations, bidder 232. That is a killer deal to get a hangout. I mentioned the vision trip earlier. So what these are, they arrange a few of them a year, and this is going to one of the newest countries, right? Scott, Puebla, right? Yeah, it's a new region that's kind of brand new to the plant. So yeah, you're going to experience firsthand. So what's kind of neat about this, you'll be able to get in and see what they start with. When I visited the DR, I saw 3 different areas. One that was kind of new and they were just getting it figured out. One that was kind of on their journey, and one that was like unbelievably transformed. So here's a chance to head out on a vision trip. This is for one person. The date's right there, October 18 to 23. And I want to let you know, Puebla, you could fly into Mexico City if you want. So if you want to turn this into like a little week getaway, fly into Mexico City and then head on down to Puebla. It's a life-changing experience. You can actually put a plant in the ground, spend time, visit the ministries, visit the savings and loans. I'm going to look for an opening bid of $1,500, ladies and gentlemen. $1,500 to get it going. If you ever wanted to do something different, it was cold showers. I loved every minute of it. $1,500. Anyone want to take? You look like some daring people out here. Now, I'm an old guy. I pulled it off. It didn't kill me. $1,500 bidder. Nobody wants to visit Puebla. It's not scary. Scott, yeah, it's not scary, right? We haven't lost anybody yet. No, yeah, but we're good. $1,500. We got to put it in there because it's truly something that Plant with Purpose can offer that nobody else can. 222 at $1,500. If you don't want to go, but maybe you have a grandson, as long as they're like over the age of 18, I'm thinking, that you want to experience, see what life's really like outside of the U.S. If they think it's tough here, let them go visit someplace else. It was a learning experience for me. Anyone else? $1,500 once, twice. Sold to the gentleman for $1,500. Can you raise that bid number one more time for me? It was out over there. Can we raise that bid number one more time? Spotters, that's where I need your help. You got it, 222. Thank you very much. All right, this is the last live auction item, and we're just about ready to get the rescue dessert. We got the ice cream going over there. Think about that for next year. All right, so ski season is right around the corner. I'm not ready for it, but I went into Costco, and there the Christmas trees were. So snow is soon to follow, ladies and gentlemen. Red Mountain Ski Resort has been kind enough to partner with Plant with Purpose and donate this 100% donation, ladies and gentlemen, to one of the nicest resorts in British Columbia. 3,850 acres. They get over 300 inches of snowfall a year, and this is a 5-night stay. It also includes, ladies and gentlemen, all of the, I want to make sure, does it include the equipment this year? It always has. Does anybody know? Yes, all right. I thought it always has. It's not in. So you don't even have to mess with schlepping your gear on the planes or anything like that. Just get on the plane and go. It is absolutely stunning country, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, it is a getaway for 4 days of skiing for 4 people, 2 couples, a family, however you want to work it. I need to start the bidding at $3,000. That's too low, but that's where I'm going to go. $3,000 bidder, where are we at? $3,000 bidder in the back of the house. How about $32.5? $3,000 bidder, we're looking for $32.5. 32. It's for 4 people. $3,250 bidder, we're looking for $3,500. $32.5, we're looking for $3,500. You can't even hardly get the ski rentals in most places. Would cost you $1,000. I've got $32.5. We're looking for $3,500 bidder out there. Some of you guys can ski. You got it in you. It's more fun than pickleball, trust me. $32.5, we're looking for $3,500. $3,500 to the young lady right there. $3,500 bidder now. How about $3,750? Take a look at that. That is absolutely breathtaking. $37.5, let's go $4. $3,750, let's go $4. This is the last item we got. $3,750, how about $4? $4,000 bidder now. What do you bid it at $4? Once again, every dime is going to benefit Plant with Purpose. $37.5, we're looking for $4. Looking for $4. You've been in it this long. That's like $1,000 a person for a full-on ski trip, including gear. $37.5. You know what that costs. $37.5 going one time. $37.5 going twice. I'm looking one last time around the room. Sold him in the back of the house. $37.50. Congratulations. $325. Way to go. We appreciate it. Guys, give yourself a round of applause. You've been extremely generous. I'm going to bring Lynne back up now. Here she is. This will be our last little duo together, and then we're going to get the rest of you guys hooked up, and you can have some time for conversation.
All right. Thank you so much. It's been an incredible night, but we want to give you one last opportunity to support the work. At the $100 level, Plant for the Future. The roots of Plant with Purpose's program are, well, they're actual roots. They're actual roots. With your help, partners plant trees, and by preventing erosion, returning fertility to the soil, providing nutrition and income for families, cooling and cleaning the air, trees are transforming the watersheds where we work. Will you create environmental resilience and heal the land? With your support, this year, we will plant our 90 millionth tree. Let's do it. Come on, come on, come on.
That is absolutely amazing, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to do this. We're going to make it real simple, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do what's called just a paddle drop. So even if you've already donated, what I want to do, if we collect every paddle out there, there's like 300 of you, times $100, that is how much? Like $30,000, something like that? Or something like that. It's a lot of money. Anyway, where are my volunteers? Where are my volunteers? You guys running around? Come on out. We got more than one. Put your paddles up in the air. Throw them in my volunteers' baskets. And know that that's a $100 donation when you toss it in. Do we have more volunteers? That's all right. I'll run on down there.
Drop them in the basket. That's all you got to do. They're coming around. Drop them in the basket.
Yeah. Hey, I can come out here. We'll tell you what. Who says I can't multitask? Tell my wife I can't multitask. That's right. There we go. Thank you very much. $100, $100, $100, $100.
Plant
right there we
trees.
go. Right over here.
Trees.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
100 trees.
1, 2, 3, 4,
you can do it.
$500 for every $100. Believe it or not, that is 100 trees. That is 100 trees. Right over here, ladies. Right behind me. I've got some more ladies. Nobody ever listens to me. Story of my life. There you go. You guys are absolutely amazing. Give yourself a round of applause.
Oh, we got one more
We got more over there. He's heading on over there.
Any more? 100 trees.
There's no drawing or anything. Just know that you helped plant 100 trees, ladies and gentlemen. That was absolutely amazing. Thank you, Lynne. Give her a round of applause. Her first time up here with me. We want to thank you. I want to thank the entire committee that helped put this together. Those centerpieces are super cute. If anybody wants to take one home, make a donation of whatever dollar amount you think is fair, and feel free to take one home. I think you can just scan the QR code. We've got a very special video coming your way. It's called the Adrian Award video. It's something Plant with Purpose does every year. Again, my name is Mike Hogan. Thank you for letting me be a part of tonight. Please turn your attention to the screens.
At Solana Beach Presbyterian Church, Scott preached on the topic of creation care, and we were both very inspired and wanted to know more. A little bit later, with Jeff Busby, I had told him that Jill and I were looking for a creation care nonprofit with which to get involved, and he introduced us to Plant with Purpose.
We traveled to Haiti in 2013. We listened to a farmer explain how Plant with Purpose had changed his life. He told us that he had 12 kids, 8 of whom were adults. All had moved off the farm and to the city because the farm could no longer supply enough food and revenue for them to stay. As his farmland had become more productive by utilizing Plant with Purpose techniques, they all had moved back home to work on the land with him again. He was so excited to tell us how much he had learned from Plant with Purpose. And the cherry on top, he told us with great pride, that he was now able to afford to send his smaller children to school.
These people had worked not for themselves, but for their children's and their children's children's future. That self-sacrifice touched our hearts and souls.
I love that in each country, Plant with Purpose partners with a local board of directors who hired local university-trained experts in agroforestry.
The key word for Jill and I is integrity. Everything that Plant with Purpose does demonstrates the highest level of integrity.
Darrell and I have been on 3 vision trips, and I must say that one common thread in all those trips was the palpable joy that the people in the various communities exude.
Experiencing firsthand the restoration of the land and the restoration of the hope that the farmers and their families have as a direct result of participating in Plant with Purpose's programs will impact you like nothing else will.
I've asked Doug Satry to come help me make this presentation, and I'd like to ask Darrell and Jill to come up to the stage. Let me give you just a little background on the Adrian Award. It was named for Don and Doris Adrian, who were longtime volunteers and supporters. It's sort of a unique award in that it's not intended to recognize primarily financial contributions or even board service, but rather extraordinary volunteer service. And since we're an international organization, and even more so since we've become a hybrid office, finding ways to volunteer often isn't easy. It often requires a certain level of creativity. And so the award is designed to highlight people who've been creative in finding ways to support and serve Plant with Purpose. Now, you heard a little bit about their visits and their advocacy and their support. Let me tell you about a couple other things. In the early days of the COVID pandemic, Darrell, who's a retired physician, became our advisor and actually met with our task force on a weekly basis to talk about how we could best support our partners at the time, 8 countries, what we should do, what would be responsible in terms of things to tell them, how we could avoid being the carriers that would infect rural villages, how we should adapt our own operations in our office. And so Darrell kept us up to date on the best information, the best news, and the best advice. More recently, he has been an advocate with the UBS Optimus Foundation, taking us through participating in meetings with the London-based Optimus Foundation and participating in the whole process of helping us to get vetted by them, and which we now are, and that has the Optimist Foundation, if any of you bank with UBS or work with UBS, the Optimist Foundation will match donations, and that's resulted in hundreds of thousands of dollars to Plant with Purpose as a result specifically of Darrell's advocacy. And all of that is in addition to Darrell's board service. When Darrell came on the board, I don't think he'd ever served on a nonprofit board before. And he has made a study of nonprofit governance. And I can't tell you how much that means to me. So it has been a true pleasure to travel with Darrell and Jill and to have them as volunteers with us. So I'm really happy to give you the 2025 Adrian Award.
Jill and I are so honored for this. We did not know personally Don Adrian, but he was a legend, and his advocacy and his commitment to Plant with Purpose is an inspiration. So having an award with his name on it is really special. The video and Scott kind of said it all, but we are honored, and thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Congratulations, you guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's kind of a special end to our evening. We've got an amazing musician, singer-songwriter, and a dear friend of the Plant with Purpose family. Big round of applause, Tyson Motsenbocker.
Oh, hello. I met Scott a while back, and we really connected on a few things, one of which is that I grew up in Haiti, so Plant with Purpose's work was very important to me. And also, we love music a lot. So we really love this band, this band called Dawes, and this is kind of a going-away song by them. So I figured we'd sing it while we look at a slideshow. This is a little tribute to you, Scott. Late night drives and hot French fries and friends around the country, from Charlottesville to good old Santa Fe. When I think of you, you still got on that hat that says let's party. I hope that thing is never thrown away. I hope that life without a chaperone is what you thought it'd be. I hope your brother's El Camino runs forever. I hope the world sees the same person that you always were to me. And may all your favorite bands stay together. I'm just waking up and I'm not thinking clearly, so don't quote me. So with one eye open, I'm writing you this song. Ain't it funny how some people pop into our heads so easily? I haven't seen you in there for so long. I hope that life without a chaperone is what you thought it'd be. I hope your brother's El Camino runs forever. Hope the world sees the same person that you always were to me. And may all your favorite bands stay together. Hope that life without a chaperone is what you thought it'd be. Hope your brother's El Camino runs forever. Hope the world sees the same person that you always were to me. And may all your favorite bands stay together. And may all your favorite bands stay together. And may all your favorite bands stay together.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Tyson Motsenbocker.
Hold on, I got something else. I got one more thing.
Go for it.
Okay.
Awesome.
This is a surprise for you, Scott. And I want to thank you for two things real quick. This is in case I forget. The first thing I want to thank you for is being such a lovely fellow. So thank you for that. And the second thing I'd like to thank you for is having a name that so many things rhyme with. Has anybody seen my friend Scott Sabin? He might be hiking Torrey Pines. He's probably sailing. He might be at the belly up, that booty shaking. Don't be mistaken, that's just Scott Sabin. Does anybody know my good friend Scott? He might be writing on his website such good thoughts. He's gonna figure it all out like Sherlock Holmes. It's all on lock. Great Scott, he's the greatest Scott we've got. Has anybody seen my friend Scott Sabin? He might be off to Tanzania, not vacation, planting trees of which he won't enjoy the shading. Don't be mistaken, that's just the way of Scott Sabin. Has anybody seen my good friend Scott? He kinda looks like a koala, nice and soft. He gives the best hugs and he listens real intently. That's why I think of him like a koala. Sorry, Scott. Well, he's been at this job since 1995. And that's a longer time than my wife's been alive. Hip, hip, hooray, let's raise him up, the man that everybody loves. I'd share a eucalyptus branch with you, sir, any day. Well, everybody says they want to go and change the world. And for once, it's nice to know someone who really kept his word.
All right, Tyson, that was awesome. Round of applause. And just FYI, our last fundraising item, the single of that song will be available on your way out at 1995. We have it in CDs, 8-track tapes, cassette, whatever you got, we'll take it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about time to bring the evening to a close. I'm going to bring Pastor Peter Dunn up for a prayer to close things out. But real quickly, I want to remind you for checkout, you can just scan the QR code on your bid paddle there or on the email you got, or check with any of our team out there. But for our closing prayers, ladies and gentlemen, from Solana Beach Presbyterian Church, please welcome Reverend Peter Dunn.
Well, what a lovely evening it has been. It's been a privilege to be with you all and to see just the wonderful generosity pouring out of this place. Are you all ready for a closing prayer? I bet you are. Will you pray with me? Lord, we give you thanks for Plant with Purpose. We give you thanks for the great village gathered here, for the beautiful pursuit of every soul in this room to think beyond themselves and to come together and to put you in the center and watch as you take what has been offered here and multiply it. Lord, use it to bring light to the darkness, hope to the despair, healing to the land. Lord, would you use it to make gardens and fruit and farms and forests that remind the world of what you intended it to be. We thank you, Lord, that you have been mindful of us. May we return the favor and use this offering, Lord, as we get to join with you, so that those far off, those hurting, those in poverty, those who need you most, might know that you are mindful of them. And may it be our privilege to participate in this great work called love. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Know you've all been doing God's work, and on behalf of Plant with Purpose, we greatly appreciate it. For those 29 tables that didn't get ice cream, we have desserts in the back of the house. We have coffee in the back of the house. I think there is a dessert and coffee station on that wall as well. So grab a little snack, grab a cup of coffee, enjoy each other's company for a few more minutes. Again, thanks for enjoying the evening. Thanks for inviting me to be here. And one more time, his last hurrah is the leader of the ship, Scott Sabin. Thank you, Scott. God bless you all. Enjoy dessert.